And Are You Okay is a not safe for work podcast, so any young listeners are discouraged from continuing. However, we literally have no way to track that, so do whatever the hell you want and enjoy the show.
How many times do you think we're going to accidentally say and or, but like not meaning and or?
Well,
in the next like month and a half,
it has to be a drinking game. Like there's no choice that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I say ourselves and the listeners, so we got to come.
No, they're going to have to. Yeah,
we got to come drink ready every episode.
Right. We're expecting several plays on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah,
because. I don't want people drinking and driving. That's just irresponsible.
Yeah. Don't play the game with us if you're driving. This is like water.
Yeah, exactly. Stay hydrated, right? Stay hydrated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But don't play the game with us if you're driving.
It's important to drink your back to keep yourself all good. Mm-hmm. In the Star Wars universe in particular, sometimes you take a whole bath of Bacta. Sometimes you got to put.
Is it like back the wash? If someone backwashes?
Oh my gosh, that's a good point. I don't know. Is that did a bunch of people just spit in Darth Vader's tube?
I've heard that's why he was grumpy all the time. That's what it was.
That makes sense. All right. Well, make sure you spit. Make sure you spit on unsuited Darth Vader before you listen to Annie. Are You Okay?
A Star Wars podcast.
Because Annie will not be okay. He'll be pissed off that you spit on him. Yeah, but I am joined with the Stormtrooper Dejeen, Qui-Gon Mitchell. We make it. It is what it is. We're practically fused at this point.
It's the Qui-Gon Mitchell and the Stormtrooper Dejeen of the Star Wars scene. I just bet my time, but you would never have known.
We are the lockdown corners of this end of the Star Wars podcasting game. Yep. And we're happy to be here talking about a new Andor trailer. The marketing campaign is in full force, Matt. And I just can't wait to kind of dive in. We're here to provide you a little bite-sized episode because they kind of give us a bite-sized trailer. But there's still plenty to talk about.
All the Mando movie dollars went to the Andor Season 2 promotional budget.
Clearly. So if you're tuning in from TikTok, just want to say thank you for coming over here, and a shout out to our new producer Billy, who has been Bilba Fett, Sabilba, as we've been calling him.
I love it.
We could not, be putting all this extra content out without him, so just wanted to shout him out at the top here before we dive into our topic today. But Matt, different music, very Star Wars-esque music. Glad to see that they're, taking different bits and pieces of, trying to vibe with certain types of people within the fandom, or maybe the people who are just like want a more traditional hype up trailer. This definitely has like the Death Star siren noises to get your heart a racing. So why don't we let's just do what we do here. Why don't we hyperdive right in?
Hyperdive right in. Punch.
Are we punched? Oh, good. I punched it.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's a high C joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Not high C, fucking Kool-Aid man. I was about to get murdered by our peers, our contemporaries who were born in the 90s. Were about to light me up.
They were about to be like, "Do you even know what fruit punch is?" Like,
I don't even know what high C's like slogan is, or if they got one. I don't even. I don't think they have one. Might be in my brain somewhere.
But you know what? It's funny because obviously Kool-Aid High C very different, but I still can't help myself. I get the orange High C when I go to McDonald's. That's just my move.
You torture small animals on your spare time. Well, the orange High C is for psychopaths.
No, it's not. Get out of here. I'm not a crazy person. I'm not a psychopath.
I really don't think you torture small animals in your free time.
I don't think I've ever been accused so drastically off of a drink choice before.
Oh yeah, I hang around me more often. Yeah, your food. It's you know what it's like. It's like I can't. I'll think insert flavored candies here. I feel like every candy has like that specific flavor of that you don't fuck with. It's like just a universal law. Like for instance.
Okay, well, hold on. Before we do the Andor thing, 'cause this is just like a general. We just have to get this out of our system right now. Rank your the 4 original Starbursts. Rank the colors. Go.
Oh, shit. Pink, red, orange, yellow.
See, I go red, orange, pink, yellow.
Psychopath.
No. I just like orange flavored things.
No,
leave me alone.
So for Uno, I love oranges, orange slices. All right, so that explains it. You like orange flavored things. I feel like you're the exception, not the rule. No one in the history of anyone has ever picked the orange Starburst over the pink one. I can say that confidently. If we ran a poll.
Yeah, you're right. I'm willing to admit that this is a weird taste by me, but also this episode is sponsored by Rain Energy. Get that orange dreamsicle energy drink. That's my energy drink of choice as of late. So
bang bang, pow pow.
Oh yeah, what did we call it?
Power energy. Was it power energy?
Bow energy.
Wow, that's what it was.
Bow energy.
Bow energy.
Brought to you by Bow Energy. Anyways, as we like to say here. Now that we took off on that terrible tangent of people learning that I like orange flavored things and now I'm hated by the masses.
As a fun edit to make it topical, just superimpose the word lightsaber over Starburst. So it makes it seem like we're debating Star Wars lightsaber.
Yeah, I'll go in and I'll put the Excel robot version or the Microsoft robot, and it's name your favorite lightsaber.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. It'll be a grand old time.
All right. Well, this trailer it showed a lot in a short period of time. And Matt, I just wanted to hand it off to you and get your most prominent things. And I have just 3 talking points that I wanted to hit before we close this thing down, which I know I'm saying way too early into the recording, but hey, that's just what we do here. We're men on a mission. Now, a rebellion, perhaps.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Now, I hope, because I have one prominent point, just one. I love the trailer and all of its awesomeness. I feel like we got a lot of scenes that contextually will be amazing. So I liked that. I didn't understand the context of a lot of what was going on because I hate when the show gives away the show in the trailer. So I was very joyous about that because I feel like we go back and watch it after we see these scenes I can't believe they put that in the trailer type situation. But with that said, I didn't have a lot of oh shit. So there might be a lot of things that I might have missed, but I hope my one monumentous point doesn't step on one of your talking points. But if it does, I guess we could drive right into it. At the very end, when Andor is about to break through the whatever base he's locked in, he's just welcome to the rebellion. He's wearing a very specific color jumpsuit, and I wonder if that's the origin of the rebellion's orange jumpsuits.
That is not one of my talking points. I didn't even think about it, but I really like your thought process
because when I saw that, for some reason it put in my head process, the Rebel Alliance, the iconic orange jumpsuits. I'm thinking through in my head for Andor season 1, I was like, dang, I don't think I ever saw any orange in that whole series. And I was just like, this is when the rebellion is starting to form. So I guess this would be before they have an official uniform. So when I saw that very iconic burnt sunset orange color, I did feel like I saw a empirical symbol on the shoulder. So maybe they were undisguised and they broke out.
It would be crazy if there was the reason why they use it throughout the original trilogy is an homage to a mission that happens in Andor.
So on the shoulder, I thought I saw an empirical symbol. So I'm wondering if they were undercover, broke out, and they're just this is a really nice color type.
Yeah, we're gonna keep using these.
But when I saw that, I was just oh shit! I wonder if that's the original or the whatever the prototype for what would become the Rebel Alliance's iconic uniform. I wonder if that's what we're seeing now. And I got very
excited. Is a really interesting take. you're always so out there with your ideas, but like sometimes the way you like key it up and write it out for me, I'm just like, man, I really hope that it's part of it.
I know. I happen to fall. I feel like I fall victim to my lofty goals often. Oh, this could be it, and then it's not.
They're very exciting. They're very no. You've gone off on a few tangents. Where every once in a while, I'm like, Matt, there is no way in hell. But this one I like. this one I want to keep.
I feel like I feel like each show we do together, like I get closer and closer to getting one right.
And when you do, we are going to like pop bottles of champagne, like at the beginning of the episode. Like we're going to completely ruin our setups.
Like I feel like for Skeleton Crew, between the two of us, we like accurately, adjacently predicted that whole show. Like it was like our answer was like right next to the right answer, but it was like the whole show.
It was like and or that answer. Don't take a shot.
Like I am. But that was like the one thing that stuck out for me. I was just like, oh, I hope that's what that was, and I was like, that'd be pretty dope. That's
definitely interesting. Yeah, they've been teasing a lot of that whole Andor stealing that tie. I don't think it's an interceptor. I think it's a different.
Yeah, it seemed like a newer
yeah.
ship to me as well. But I'm super hype, and I pray that your theory that like every couple batch of episodes is a year. I pray, fingers crossed that that's what it is, because that just makes the most sense in the world to do that.
Yeah, I do think there's a lot of likelihood of that, strictly based off this first point here, and it's just obviously we have a lot of characters in season 1 that we're following. I think we know that the main ones that we're following are Cassian, Mon, and then Luthen, and everyone else is kind of like around that. But like Cyril and Deidre,
like a lot of stuff.
Bix is definitely probably going to get a lot.
She's in the trailers a lot, like a lot.
Yeah, and I think my point here is actually about characters that we're not seeing. So Vel, Mon's cousin, and Cinta, who is like Vel's like love interest, but Cinta is like more dedicated to the rebellion.
Yeah,
I think they
like
had one
break up ish at the end of season 1.
But I think that they've had one single shot in all of the marketing material, which makes me wonder, like, do they have a deeper like plot point that we're like maybe going to that they don't want to show anything about, right? Or are they going to bite the dust early? You know what I mean? Like what does it mean for characters that we haven't seen as much of? Another, like, don't get me wrong, we got way more of them in this trailer, but like Cyril was a huge part.
Cyril eating cereal
was a huge part of season 1, and it just feels like he is an afterthought, but I almost feel like it's intentional, right? Like they're showing all this flashy stuff to maybe hide some of the other things that are happening. And I just was curious, like, has that struck you at all? Have the trailers been so kind of like cinematic in nature and you're maybe distracted by the shiny things such as like K2SO and Krennic showing up that you haven't even really put much thought into the fact that we're not really seeing a ton of characters that we know are still around?
I will say 1000% the shiny things did catch my attention, but also I don't think I've ever really thought of a trailer in that aspect. And I thank you for providing me with that different insight. I kind of chalked it up to what I feel most people kind of go to. If you don't see them a lot, they may die. Like or they might not be in the show a lot to use it, which means they might die, or they might just like vacate the show, because we know that we're in a time frame where a lot of people, they're going to have to start having a reason why they didn't show up in the original trilogy, which is either going to be death or amnesia, so whatever it is. So I never really thought of like, dang, maybe they're keeping certain people out of the trailer because they do have like that hidden part of a show that they never want you to know is part of the show, the reveal. So I've never really thought about it like that, but I would like that a lot because I fuck with Cyril. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no,
like,
he was
his dickhead of a mom.
yeah, she's certainly a fun character for sure. And I also think, he's just like, he's literally like the Star Wars version of an incel. So you can kind of like, I almost feel
1000%.
not to get like too real here for a second, but like there are, weird political times that we're living in. You can kind of like see through his character progression, maybe how people in real life kind of like get to the point where Cyril is through his story. through Andor.
Have you given up on him as a character? Because I remember
you were very much on the train
that he might jump ship. I still am kind of
totally disagree. No, I was going to wonder holding out. We are going to fight about this. We're going to fight about this until he's dead or until he does it. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I'm steadfast. No, that man is. He's cracked in the head, and he's
the line that he had in this trailer. I'm like, who's to say that he's talking about the Empire?
Yeah, fair enough. But I still think it's just like, nah, they're trying to get people like you. You're gullible. You think Cyril can change? He can't change, Matt. He can't change.
Maybe he wants to try oatmeal. Maybe. You never know.
He's too busy eating cereal.
He heard about Tim's calf. He heard about it, the blue calf.
Tim with two M's is dead, Matt.
I know he died.
It's over.
I know, but stormtroopers are part of the cause. It got back to the base where he works at. It's like, yo, there's this guy that has some calf. Them rebels know to make some calf.
I'll tell you what, Matt. I'll tell you what. If he switches from cereal to space oatmeal or space Pop-Tarts, then maybe you got a check in your box here. But I'm just saying that you're crazy. There's no way.
Yes,
there's crazy. No way. I'm gonna die on this hill.
Strike true, Peter Pan. Strike true.
Speaking of Cyril, there was a big portion of his story last season that dealt a lot with Deidre, and a big talking point going around the community, the Star Wars fandom, is Deidre is being shown clasping at her throat, making some believe a Vader cameo is inevitable. However, I just want to pose this to you. I think she's having panic attacks from her experience in the finale, and that she can't cope with it.
I like
so
that.
I think that they threw that in there to make people think that like Vader's coming, when in reality it's a much more like real world thing that's kind of like crippling her, like a crippling anxiety as she gets deeper and deeper and raises through the ranks of the Empire. Like the pressure just becomes too much for her.
I would like that a lot. I mean, because she isn't in a position of power when we get to New Hope, so someone's got a demotion. maybe she's one of the ones that doesn't have to get like murdered to not explain. Maybe she just gets fired.
At the same time, I feel like a lot of the ISB, like the ISB don't get shown in the original trilogy except for on the Death Star.
Right.
And it's like, how many people were on the Death? I don't know if they left the Death Star or if they like bit the dust. That's actually shame on me for not knowing that. Actually, I should definitely feel like
by next episode you'll know. Well, I guess not next because secret. We're recording it right after this. But next episode, you know what I would love to see. I don't want them to follow the Cyril Deirdre like love story that they were kind of like playing around with. Like I kind of like
I like that he's obsessed with her and she wants nothing to do with him.
And I hope they kind of keep it that way, but it's like I kind of want something to happen between the two where like he has to kill her or like she has to kill him.
That'd be crazy.
But
I do think Cyril is crazy, so I kind of fuck with this.
I don't know if it's like a maybe it is like she turned him down too many times and he snaps and kills her, or maybe he does. Maybe she wants to defect. Maybe her panic attacks lead her to be like, yo, maybe this ain't it. Maybe she's just like,
I like this train of thought. Yeah,
maybe she's just like, damn, we're some Nazis over here. I don't like this. And she tries to leave. Damn, maybe the speech that Cyril's giving her, like, oh, like you should, like maybe that's him trying to get her to stay. Like, what you mean?
Yeah,
the Empire,
that'd be interesting.
Tahiti. It's a beautiful place. Shout out to Colson. But yeah, it's like, but I would love to see them have a differences of opinions with like a major thing that leads to one of them having to kill the other. I would think. Yeah,
because I can see her feeling indebted to him for saving her, but that it becomes very toxic very fast.
Yeah.
Like
he gets off on like her feeling like she owes him, but she gets over it eventually. Like, all right, brother. Like, I feel like we're even now. Right. Or maybe she saves him back and now they're even. He's like, shit, I don't have anything on her anymore.
There's no leverage anymore.
Exactly, yeah. So
that's very incel of him. So
there you go.
Hey, man. But I guess to round this out with the whole like fandom kind of talking about like Vader being possible, Do you think there's any possibility of Force users? A big theory of mine last season was that Luthen was a Jedi secretly.
I was wrong with that too.
And I do still feel that that's a possibility. Do you think we see any Force users during the course of the season?
I'm gonna say yes, solely because we know that the show runs right into the beginning of Rogue One, and we know that like Vader was hot on their tail at that point in time. So I think he probably shows up in like one of the last episodes, some type of, if not directly interacting with the main cast, because we know that wouldn't really have worked. Like we see that in Rogue One, like we see like what happens with that, but like whatever. When he starts investigating the larger rebellion, like I feel like we would see his investigatory arc leading up to when he gets the plans or tries to run down on Leia and stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay, and my final point here, this is another thing that the fandom is definitely, I think that they're onto the right track with this personally. There's an event that happens that's referenced in Star Wars Rebels and several other material. It's called the Gorman Massacre. And essentially what it is, it's this big turning point in the rebellion where the Emperor gets blamed for the Imperial forces killing a bunch of innocent people on Gorman. And it's actually the reason why Mon Mothma has to flee the Senate and become the leader of the rebellion. And so we see her flee. Fire. and the Ghost crew picks her up in deep space to shepherd her to a meeting of the Alliance to restore the rebellion, right? So we see the aftermath of that in Star Wars Rebels. However, there are several scenes in like I don't know if courtyard is maybe the right place, but it's like an open area with what looks like to be a fountain, but there's a ton of people and a bunch of kind of like stormtroopers are descending. Very many content creators in Star Wars space are saying like, I think this is the Gorman Massacre. And that means that we're going to be seeing some pretty dark shit play out. Not that we haven't already in the show, but I do think that this is definitely one of those things that is going to be like, holy shit, what did I just watch? Order 66 level, like fucked up. Wow, this really is the Empire kind of showing its true colors. You know, we see stormtroopers be bumbling, goofy idiots, but we're about to see them be like a murdering squad, essentially, out and killing a bunch of innocents. It's gonna be probably this huge turning point in the show. Yeah. So just want to get your thoughts on like, how crucial is showing something like that to the wider story of this? Do you think that we have to have Andor there for it to like impact everything? Do you think that it'd be better to have it be seen through other characters' eyes? And on top of that, like the imagery has been mixed in a little bit with like the Chandrilla wedding type stuff, which I think is around like Mon's daughter and stuff. Like, how much do you think seeing the wider galaxy is going to play a role in us kind of like understanding why the rebellion grows so quickly in this period of time?
I love this. So I wasn't, I'm not as tapped into the underground of I'm not as tapped to the fan base and like everything as you are. So I love that a lot. I love when Star Wars hits us with some shock factor. And I feel like outside of Acolyte, which a lot of people didn't watch, where we saw what the fuck was her name? Vicky? Jackie. Yeah, when she gets like did in with the 3 lightsaber, choo. Like when I feel like when Star Wars gives us like a oh shit, because we're really weird. I'm like on 6 different trains of thoughts, but I'm gonna bring it all home. Star Wars has always found a very like artistic way to show violence. Like it's like we're watching people get like, you know, literally decapitated, dismembered, wounds cauterized, shot through the chest, beheaded, but they do it in such of a way that Star Wars movies still just be PG. Like, you know, they're not really heavy on the blood. Like when Dooku's head gets chopped off, you just kind of see the stub roll a bit, little like, oh, hey, it's a head. But
you see the shadow of Django's like head fall out of his helmet. Yeah,
exactly, like shit like that. But I feel like in Force Awakens, when the stormtrooper like puts the blood on Finn's helmet and like just to separate him from everything, that was like oh shit, like that was like a graphic Star Wars moment. That was like damn. Or even Kylo getting hacked in the face, Finn getting sliced up the back and everything, and just like oh shit, this is a different level of aggression. And I feel like because Star Wars does their violence so artistic, which we love, and like we're desensitized to it, and it's like it's a masterpiece. When you get those like, oh damn, like they're like iconic moments that stick with the fan base forever. And I feel like we're due. Up for another one of those.
Yeah. I agree.
Extends through the generations. Like, damn, y'all, where were you at when you watched that massacre?
Right. Like when did you watch it as it came out? Like that,
yeah.
Or were you binge watching Andor a year later for some reason? And I feel that's like a moment that sticks with you from the show. Yeah,
we're all due that shared fan base joyous experience where we're all just like collectively, yo, did you see? Like that's crazy. Yeah. and not only that, something that we talked about from season 1 that if this does happen, I'll be really actually happy. Not because of Massacre, because that's terrible. But we said for so long between like the movies and Rebels to an extent, but it's still an animated show. It's really hard to like quantify how evil the Empire really was during Sheev's reign, because we always see it at the toppest level. We always see the Jedi going after. We always see the head of the snake. But it wasn't until we saw like what was going on in Andor that you and Obi-Wan shows it as well. Like you don't really see
Bad
like,
Batch a little bit at the beginning.
Exactly. Like Rebels, but again, it's kind of harder to quantify in an animated
Rebels
show.
Is like a little more cartoony.
Exactly.
Like the violence isn't, don't get me wrong, it's my favorite piece of Star Wars content, but like yes, there's something to be desired when it comes to, like you said, we are seeing the head in that, whereas like we're seeing the rest of the snake in his other projects.
And you're seeing like outside of the fact that these are like Force users that are good with lightsabers, you're seeing like the military suppression of the people. Like you're seeing like the boots on the ground, people begging for food, getting kicked out of their houses, getting taken prisoner, getting questioned. Like we're seeing all of that in real time, which for me helps me hate the Empire more, which like enriches my Star Wars experience.
It should. You should be. I want Star Wars to make me feel something, right? And so that's a part of it, right? You have to, be mad at the Empire for what they're doing. Like it's going to enrich your experience. So I'm glad you said that. Like it's fine to view it through an emotional lens. Like you should be because
you know what it does when Vader throws Sheev down the hole. And, we're celebrating and there's Ewoks and chairs and bar mitzvahs and everything. When we're seeing all that, you're happy because Luke, Han, and Leia beat the bad guy. It's like you're happy because like our team won. But it's just like now you can look at that and be like, damn, they just saved the galaxy. Like they just millions upon millions of people's lives just got infinitely better in the blink of an eye because our guys were able to take down the Empire. But like as a kid, you're just like, oh, our team won. Like, yay, Luke. Like, yay, Han. It's like it's a micro win. Like it's like you're just celebrating the action. It's just like, oh, no more Empire. Good guys win. Yay. But now it's just like, damn, like grandma who couldn't make money to go to the store, or like, oh, they only let imperial credits be used here, like she don't got none. Like
the revolution,
the
rebellion actually brought about like a meaningful change in the galaxy.
And not even that, you just said something that just put something in my head. Now it's just like Luke was late to the game. Luke and Han joined the rebellion at the end of that bitch. So it's like now you got the people who was like boots on the ground who like started the rebellion, Saw Gerreras of the world. Now you're just like, damn, these guys took a chance. They've been dealing with this for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Now they can sit back and be like, we did it. Mon Mothma can sit back and be like, I lost the daughter for this, but we did it, baby. We did it. So it's like I love what this show does, like to make me retroactively appreciate shit that I already know happened. I don't even gotta go back and watch it again. I just enjoy it more thinking about it. But yeah, But
what does Luthen say? He burns his life for something like that, or like a sunset he'll never see, or something like that. It's like you have to think about all the people who like lost their lives like along the way too. Like there's a
in Hamilton, the musical, they say like your legacy is planting the seeds of a tree that you'll never get to see. Like essentially, it's like, and it's just like shows like Andor get to show you like, damn, that win was so much bigger than, you know, Luke coming to peace with his dad. Like it was the galaxy has been set free.
Dude, the pros of a shared universe, right? Like getting to like having other stories enrich everything else. It's fantastic. You know, you love to see it.
Big fan. You know what it makes me like, it gives me, obviously the show hasn't even happened yet, but it gives me a similar euphoric feeling to like the end of Avatar. Like when Aang beat the Fire Lord, is just like, damn, that was 4 years, 4 seasons of like all the people that were just like repressed by the Fire Nation. And we saw all these people that were just like affected by the Fire Nation, and now they're free.
yeah, right. 100 years of oppression that Aang was asleep for.
Exactly. So it's like that, and I love it. I'm excited. So yeah, 2 thumbs up, fingers crossed for Massacre.
Hey man, it'll push the story forward. Absolutely. All right. Well, that has been our bite-sized reaction review, whatever you want to call it, of the Andor season
World
2
tour,
second
baby.
trailer. Yeah, the World Tour is coming back at you. We have a little more content in between now, Star Wars Celebration, and of course the Andor season 2 premiere and the following episodes. Matt and I have talked about having a rotating third guest on with us to discuss those movie chunks of content that should be hitting our Disney Plus accounts every Tuesday from April 22nd through the next 3 weeks after that. So very excited. Also, somewhere mixed in there, we're going to have to go see Revenge of the Sith on the big screen. So we'll also probably be coming out with something around that, or finding ways to mix it into the regular content. Long story short, you are about to get hit over the head with a
Star Wars content
of Annie, Are You Okay?
A Star Wars podcast.
And we are happy to have you listening. You can check us out over on TikTok at the letters ANI Are You Okay? You can also find me on Blue Sky at Mkey the Illest on Blue Sky. We're also on Instagram at the letters ANI Are You Okay Pod. Matt, you can find him at _Menace to Sobriety, and you can also check out our sister podcast, Dragon Ball for Life. That is the DB, the number 4L _pod on Instagram. That's where we're most active. Matt and our good friend Travis are doing all sorts of things anime related, and specifically Dragon Ball, covering. We finished our Daima coverage, so they're moving on to recapping, talking about the movies with our content creator friend Miss Majin, who's, let's be real, part of the family. And we're happy to have her. Also, since this episode is probably going to come out while it's still Women's History Month, just want to shout out all of the women contributors to our team. That is Yali, all caps, Perez, Layla, Anchi, Ray the Ruiner, all of them happy to hope that they're having a great Women's History Month, and we're happy to have them on board helping us do what we do and what we love. But with all that said, Matt, why don't you close this bad boy out?
Well, Animaniacs, it's like we say here in a galaxy not so far away. It can be Star Wars Massacre, could be Steve Kerr, it could be Hot in Her.
It could be Song 2 by Blur.
Oh, it
Ding, 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 ding.
It could be I Am Gur. Or it could be Ray. Life can be a beach. But you guessed it. As long as there is no sand. Anakin Bartholomew Skywalker III is going to be okay.
Be okay. May the force be with you, Matt.
And with you, later nerds.
Deuces.